This so-called Iron River of guns from the United States arms Mexican drug cartels to the teeth.
We have seen that nearly 90% of those arms comes from the United States.
I don't think that any foreign country should dictate policy to the United States.
What do you want from the United States?
I think reinstating the ban that could have a profound impact.
We are strong as a nation because we are independent.
The numbers only are used to support an agenda. And if the agenda is a big agenda, let's invent a big number.
It's a bunch of crap, a bunch of bull. I mean, it's not nowhere even close.
It is a numbers game. You can make this data look in whatever direction you like.
A numbers game built around one number, 90%.
90% of the weapons that are seized and traced through ATF are determined to be U.S. sourced.
A number repeated routinely as if it were fact by the Obama administration.
90% of them
More than
come
90%
from America.
of the guns recovered in Mexico come from the United States.
By top members of Congress.
We're told that 90% of the weapons used by the cartels come from the United States. We need to shut it off.
And by the media.
More than 90% of the assault weapons seized from drug traffickers come from the United States.
But the fact is, that number doesn't add up.
In reality, it's a drop in the bucket.
Are they tracing all their firearms? No. There are still a lot of firearms that are being seized in Mexico that are not being traced.
And that's because many of them don't have serial numbers.
What's happening now is we're seeing a rise in obliterated serial numbers. We base our analysis on the information that we have, which is information that's provided to us by the Mexican government.
You only know what they want you to know, or you only know what weapons they want you to trace, for example. But you don't know what you don't know. That's your intelligence gap.
First of all, Mexico is so corrupt, I don't think we should even listen to them.
When officials in their government are being arrested routinely after receiving $450,000 a month in bribes from the cartels, the system is completely corrupt.
When you have a lot of former Mexican soldiers working for these cartels, they not only defected with their bodies, but they defected with a good number of firearms.
They've got Chinese-made weapons, they've got Russian-made, they've got Israeli weapons made.
The guns of choice for those cartel people down there, the fully automatic AKs, the fully automatic M16s and guns like that are not coming from the United States.
I guarantee you cannot go to Walmart and buy some of these grenades or some of these rocket-propelled launchers.
If you look at the power of the narco-terrorists today in Mexico, again, they have more money than groups like Al-Qaeda. They have more money than anybody to purchase weapons. You could stop the sale of all guns in the United States today. You could seal the border. The cartels still have the capability of getting those weapons through Guatemala and Central and Latin America. It's not going to make a hill of beans.
Sitting in the grips of a new kind of terror as Mexican drug cartels spread violence across the border into the Southwest.
Powerful, ruthless drug cartels that are now threatening our personal and national security.
You have cross-border abductions. You have cross-border gang activity.
Out here recently, in our neighboring city, there was a grenade that was thrown in a business. Well, that was a Chinese-made grenade.
But still, the politicians remain blinded by their own agenda.
Guns are a serious problem. The fact that literally thousands of guns are flowing from the United States into Mexico every day.
Another phony figure that was even shot down by William Hoover of the ATF.
The investigations that we have and that we see for firearms flowing across the border don't show us individuals taking thousands of guns a day or at a time flowing into Mexico.
1069. That was also confirmed for us by sheriffs setting up road checks along main arteries used by drug traffickers.
We haven't found vehicles with large stashes of firearms, weapons, assault weapons, automatic weapons.
I've been sheriff since 1997, January 1st of 97. I've never run into a truckload of guns.
Are our gun rights to blame for what's going on over there?
No, absolutely not. It's a boots on the ground issue.
Let's secure the borders and then let's secure our nation. That's what we need to do. We've got to put more people on the ground.
We're certainly outgunned and outnumbered.
Okay, suspects are in the water. They're tossing the bundles towards the raft, and we do have officers arriving now.
Most recently, we have issued M4s to all of our officers that are out on patrol.
Guys, we're going to concentrate on the ones on the south side. Make sure you don't start taking fire. If you hear gunshots, let us know, please.
Because the cartel is now using SKSs.
We're using water guns in comparison to what they've got.
122. Command post.
Washington is a long way from the border. And I think there's not a lot of folks in Washington that really understand that there's bigger issues than just revolvers going back and forth across the border.
I think right now there is an agenda in the United States to use this situation over there to try to put more gun laws on us. Basically what they need to do is just enforce the laws they've got.
Enforcement of laws, stricter penalties. We need to see stronger efforts of sharing information with U.S. officials. Until that happens, it's gonna continue to be a never-ending battle.
This is just one of the evidence vaults that ATF has here in the Phoenix Field Division. In these boxes here is a AK 7.62 again. There were 32 that were seized in this interdiction where we stopped these guns prior to going south of the border. And again, that's our efforts. Working with the federal firearms licensees that on a daily basis provide us information about suspicious individuals that are potentially trying to commit straw purchases from them.
My question is, what change in the law would you recommend, if any, in terms of the gun problem?
I think that we have the laws we need. We just need to more effectively and more aggressively pursue
Do you need
them.
more agents?
With more resources, we could do more.
But that's not what Senator Dianne Feinstein wanted to hear.
From what I hear, it's a lot more than just a few hundred. It really is in the thousands.
That's because the senator is scheming with the Obama White House to reinstate a lie of a law, the so-called assault weapons ban, when the time is right.
I have not backed off at all from my belief that the assault weapons ban made sense.
You picked the time and the place, no question about that.
It makes a very nice soundbite if you're trying to achieve a political agenda. But the cartels will survive and just get bigger guns and more guns from their other illegal means. And that's pretty scary.
Our amendments are priceless for us to be saying that we're going to chip away at it.
Once you do that, then the sovereignty of this great nation is going to be eroded, and I see that right now.
I don't believe that the current government is a protector of core American values.
When I hear, Hillary Clinton blaming the United States, when I hear Barack Obama blaming the United States and apologizing for America, kind of gets me upset.
Why are we apologizing for anything? We're America. We have the right to have guns. We have the right to defend ourselves.
We are a strong country, and if they want to sit there and point fingers, best thing I can tell Mexico, or any other country for that matter, go look in the mirror. Don't blame us.
I'm very proud of all of my amendments, and I will do the best I can to protect the people, also defend their rights too.
These constitutional rights that we all have in the United States are sacred to each and every one of us, and that document has to prevail.